And for more on this breakthrough, we are now being joined by Amiche Stein, a journalist, live from Jerusalem. Thank you so much for joining us, Amiche. So tell us, Israel has isolated a key coronavirus antibody, which of course is being regarded as a significant breakthrough in a possible treatment for COVID-19. Tell us a little bit more about this development.
So the details came out just tonight, so the details are a bit sketchy, but what we know from the announcement of the Israeli Defense Ministry and this research institute, which is part of the IDF industry, that they somehow managed to produce the antibody which can kill a coronavirus, at least inside lab right now. Now, the big question we are waiting to see if they need more trials in the future. They want to join other pharmaceutical companies so they can really do massive tests on this issue. How does it work and how much success is in this antibody? But this is a really big headline because it's the first time or the first country that says that they find this kind of mechanism that can kill the coronavirus. Again, it's not a vaccine. It's not something that is done before, but can be used to treat people that will be ill. So this is really a dramatic announcement again, and the Israeli Defense Ministry issued this statement. The Israeli Defense Minister Naftali Bennett issued this statement and visited the institute yesterday to get update on this. But again, it's a really big headline, but we need to wait exactly for more and more tests with, again, pharmaceutical companies really to, first of all, mass test this issue and if it's successful, also mass produce it.
Right. Now, as you already mentioned, the world is in a race to find a cure or a vaccine to fight COVID-19, be it the US or the UK. So could you explain to our viewers why isolating this antibody is so important in finding a cure?
We are seeing right now the main two lines we're seeing of producing something against corona is either trying to find a vaccine to prevent before it happens, or trying to find some kind of medicine. The Israeli institute did something much more differently. It tried to find something inside the body and produce it somehow so it can kill the virus itself. So if it's successful, it's supposed to be at least much more maybe easier to use to fight the corona than invent a complete new thing that didn't exist in the past. So that's why it's such a big story right now. Again, we need more tests, we need more research on this, but at least, again, when it comes out here from an official like this, it is indeed a big story. The question is we need really to see when the test ends, if it's successful in human test. Right now it's in lab. In the lab it was very successful, but we need to see again the human body and human test and pharmaceutical test might show different results, but at least in the lab it was very successful. It killed the coronavirus.
Right. So how does Israel then plan to go ahead with this breakthrough now? Will there be more testing? Will the government be contacting international manufacturers? How far are really we from a possible cure? Is there a timeline in place?
No, unfortunately, there is no timeline right now. And like you said, the announcement said that Israel is now going to connect with other pharmaceutical companies really to take it a step ahead, to try, first of all, to do more tests and maybe then to produce it. Just yesterday, by the way, Prime Minister Netanyahu joined an EU summit regarding the fight against corona and said that Israel is investing more than $60 million in really research and trying to find some kind of cure or vaccine really to kill this virus. So Israel is what we're seeing today from tonight. Sorry, this is not one attempt. Israel is really investing in trying to find a corona cure or vaccination. And by the way, the Prime Minister just said yesterday in a press conference that he and other countries, other 6 countries by Austrian Chancellor Sebastian Kurz, are trying to formulate some kind of body of countries that will produce or try to cooperate scientifically to find a cure. So Israel is also joining other groups of countries really to try and find something that can kill this virus.
Right. My final question before we wrap up. So tell us, what is the situation like in Israel right now? It has reported lower number of cases than other countries in the region, but is it ready to handle the pandemic?
So yesterday, for example, we had only 40 new cases in the last 24 hours. And yesterday, really, we were announced, the Israeli public was announced of the really exit strategy number 2, meaning the malls will open, gyms will open, the education system will begin to return from next week gradually until the end of the month. We're going, even there is talk about maybe return to some kind of flights in mid-June. So at least Israeli Prime Minister and ministers showed yesterday that we have a victory, but they said there are several criteria that if Israel gets back there, Israel will have to think back what we're doing about the regulation. For example, if there are 250 patients in serious condition, if there's more than 100 patients a day, these kind of criteria will make Israel think a step back. We're not saying there's a victory, but they're saying the numbers right now do allow Israel to really relax very much all the regulations and allow, for example, wedding next week for 50 people.
All right, Amit, thank you so much for joining us this afternoon and for all your inputs. We can hope that this significant breakthrough is successful in finding a cure to this.